webinar on the quoting software for the Medicare supplement. I'm going to go through the demonstration, show you some of the ins and outs of that. I've got everyone muted on this call because the fact is when we do these webinars, we always get some back noise and back sound that makes it very difficult for people to pay attention and hear what the message we're trying to get out and that type of thing. So we mute it. But at the end of it, if you put your PIN number in when you logged on and signed on to it, you will be able to ask questions, because at the very end of the presentation, I will unmute people that did do that, that put their PIN number in there, and give you a chance to ask questions if you have any questions. That way we can get through the presentation without any interruptions, and I'm also going to record this, that if at a later time you want to go back to this and refer it, it'll be on our website. You can go to our recorded sessions and listen to this again. Or an associate maybe in your office that didn't have a chance and they want to see it, they'll be able to go on there and see this. So with that being said, we are recording it and we are going to get started here, and again, I will unmute at the end. So what you should be seeing on your screen is a rotating screen showing our website, American Independent Marketing. And the reason that I'm starting here is because this is where this calculator lies and where you will find it. And I thought I'd start it right at the beginning, where you can see where you go and how you get there. So with that being said, the first thing you do is you go to our website at yaim.com, pretty simple address. You type that in to your browser and it'll bring up our website. Now, the way that you get in there is you're going to have to log in. It's not on the front screens where you can see a couple of things. You have to actually log in. So there is a button right here on the right-hand side up towards the top that says log in. I click on it. Now, because of the fact that I am in there every single day, it pre-populates me and my password. So it's going to hit that and sign in. Takes a couple seconds to do that process, but it doesn't take very long, as you can see that I'm already in our website. Now, once you get behind and you're actually logged in, you will see a row of tabs of places you can go. You can go to pending apps, LTC quoting. That is another quoting tool that we have for long-term care. We've got our MedSup quoting, which is what we're going to talk about today. We've got our software that you can actually download to your desktops and to your computers, so the different company softwares. Forms and materials, that's where you go and get applications for the various carriers and the various products that you might want to write from us. Sales resources, different things that we have in there for sales resources, some training materials, and also our contacts. So it's a pretty easy site to navigate. What we're going to work on today is that MedSup calculator. So you go to that tab right here where I'm pointing to, and you click on that tab, MedSup quoting. Takes a couple seconds to move it on over to that, but it doesn't take, as you can see, again, it doesn't take very long. It says, tells you welcome back, and then it says simply run a quote. You click on run a quote, and it brings up the first screen, okay? Now, really, this tool is about as easy as it comes as far as using a tool for quoting. It really is very simple, but there's some little things in here that we thought was worth taking the time to show you how to use and to get the most out of this tool to help you sell Medicare supplements, okay? So what I'm going to do in the very first step that any of you do, if you want to sell a Medicare supplement, you want to see who's got the best pricing and who we've got in that area, depending on the zip code or the state that you're working with, is you put in a zip code. I'm going to just put in a zip code that I know has most of the carriers in there and should work good. I'm going to use 97201. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use age 65. It defaults to 65, but if you want a different age, you just go over to the right arrow and it drops down and you pick the age that you're actually going to be looking for, the client that you're going to be working with, okay? But I'm going to use 65 to start off with. You can see the next box that you come to is the tobacco, non-tobacco. Pretty simple. You click on it, pick which one it is. I'm going to stick with the non-tobacco. Effective date that we're doing this on, it just shows what date we're doing this quote for. You got a choice of male or female. I'm going to just click it to female. Then your plan. The next thing you do is, depending on what you were thinking you were going to do, you choose that. It defaults to Plan F automatically because that's generally the #1 written plan out there, although Plan G is getting to be awful popular there, and I'll show you that in just a few moments. But the program itself defaults to Plan F. Now, you can do sorts a couple of different ways. Generally, we sort it almost all the time by price, but you can by AM Best rating or S&P rating if you wanted to go that route. But I'm telling you that 99.9% of the time we're looking for the best price, and that's how we do sort. Before we go out of this screen, if you want to put a client in here, you would click down here. I'm just going to put valued client. And then all you do is hit the button, get a quote. As you can see, this is a pretty simple process. So after I hit get a quote, what comes up next is the different carriers that AIM works with, and you'll see who's got the best price for age 65, the valued client in zip code 97201, which actually is Portland, Oregon, age 65, female, non-tobacco, Plan F. Pretty easy, and again, it reiterates the effective date of this rate that's coming out, and it's going to show you the various carriers. With Transamerica, used to be the Stonebridge contract, now it's Transamerica Premier Life. It's got 126. Then you come in with United Healthcare. Then you come in with Omaha Insurance Company, and goes on down to the other carriers further on down. It does give you a lot of carriers to choose from, and again, pricing is a big factor. Now, that's going to show you the first and easiest test. And in the carrier boxes, you will find whether or not it has a policy fee. You're going to find the different ratings of the carrier, who the holding company is or the parent company is. And also, again, it'll show ratings and the effective date in which plan we're talking about. With that being said, you will see that going down further with all of those carriers. To my left, you're going to find Adjust the View. Okay, this is a very key part of the quoting deal because a lot of carriers do household discounts and some don't. The first thing that you would come to is apply discounts. So that would be like the household discounts, if there is such a thing. If you see a little box just to the left of it, you click on that box, it'll apply it. Now, it may or may not change the order of the carriers depending on what it is. It definitely changed the premiums. It didn't change the order in this case, but United Healthcare, if I take that check back out, was $132.92. I put that check mark in, whoops, wrong box. Put that check mark back in there with the household discount. It goes down to $126.27. So you can see that the orders and the premiums start to get a little bit more favorable if the carrier has a household discount. Okay, may not change the order, but in a lot of cases it will actually change the order. If you want to see annual premiums, this program will show you either monthly, and it defaults to monthly. But if you want to show annual premiums and see what it is, you just click that next box there. Okay, so as you can see as I'm going through this presentation, it is really a simple program. Now, there is another box just below that called Market Analytics. And all it is I really don't think you go this far with your clients, but it is for your information, a way to get a little more history about the carrier and the products that they're selling and how much of the market share they've got, and it gives you a lot of information the various carriers, rate increase information, things like that, that if you want to know, or even if your clients want to know, you could dig into it a little bit deeper. And again, it's going to show for the different carriers as much as they can give you on that. Now, I'm going to take away some of those information just to squeeze things down. There is one last box that they have on that left-hand side for doing a kind of a sort deal, and it is called select plans. Some of you may know what select plans are, and some of you may not. Now, what happens when I hit select plans is the carriers that actually participate in select plans will now all of a sudden pull up, and it'll show what their premiums are for the select plans. I'm not going to go into great deal with this program, but I will highlight it just a little bit just so that you understand what I'm really talking about. A select plan is an arrangement with different hospitals that an insurance carrier like United Healthcare, like Mutual of Omaha, Omaha Insurance Company, and other carriers might participate with that hospital. And that hospital will say, we'll waive the hospital deductible, and your policy won't have to pay that hospital deductible. That arrangement with that carrier says, well, gosh, if we don't have to pay that Part A hospital deductible, we can lower the premium and you can go. But you have to go to that hospital and participate with that hospital to get that hospital deductible waived, okay? Now, there are some little exceptions, like if your client got caught in an emergency situation somewhere, sometimes that'll be waived, but generally they're going to have to go to that network to get that hospital deductible waived. So keep that in mind. It's a way to even get a Plan F even lower than what you're normally used to seeing on that in certain situations. And you notice Transamerica does not participate in a select plan, so they ended up going into second place on a select because the United Healthcare does have a select plan, and their premium, you would have to see what the hospital that participates that has the negotiation with United Healthcare, and there may be more than just one, but you'd have to see who it is to see if that makes sense in participating in a select plan with United Healthcare. Okay, I'm going to take it off of select and go back to regular Medicare supplements because normally that's just what most of us do work with is normal Medicare supplements. Okay, there is another right below that select plans. If you want to know about underwriting data, there is an option there, and you can find out different things about different underwritings that if you want to on that, how it affects and what we're looking at as conditions and that type of thing. So you can check the boxes and it'll give you information on underwriting data. I don't know, I haven't talked to a lot of producers that use this information, but I'm sure there's some of you at certain times that could use this and it'll be helpful for you. I wanted to make you aware of that. There are some other filters that are there for you, and basically the household discount filter, if you want to see just the carriers that are dealing with household discounts and get rid of the carriers that don't have that, you can click that box and it will show you and do a filter on just household discount or carriers that do policy fees. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. First, the household discount. If I include the filters, you're going to have only carriers that have household discounts. For that zip code that I did, the only two carriers is United Healthcare and Omaha Insurance Company. If I go and take that filter off, it will go back to the carriers, as you can see, and show you everything. If you wanted to show carriers that just have a policy fee, you would do the same thing I just did with a household discount. And then there are the carriers that have a policy without a policy fee, excuse me. So United Healthcare, Omaha Insurance Company, a few more carriers there, Medico. Those are the carriers that don't have it. Other carriers would have that. Again, I'm going to take that off and go back to our first screen. And again, I can tell you, as I've gone through it in 15 minutes, it's a pretty easy software to work with. There's some further information down. It's just about the quote creating. But I did want to show the very last tab on there, and that is Plan F details. For people that are just getting into the Medicare supplements, or even something that you want to provide a client with that is looking into a Medicare supplement, you could actually click on Plan F details, and a screen will pop up and give an outline of the details of a Plan F. It's kind of a nice little tool, and you can print these things, print screens. There's the Part A benefits, here's the Part B benefits. It's a nice little tool that if you want to print that instead of handing them all those pages of an outline and they want to see something on it, it's a nice little tool to be able to do that. You don't want that up there, just hit the X there and get rid of it. Now, one of the other things about this tool that I think has really been powerful for us and for the other agents out there using this tool is let's look at it. One of the up-and-coming plans that I think I said at the very beginning of this webinar is Plan G. That's where a lot of the carriers are focusing and getting very aggressive with their rates with Plan Gs. And it's where the marketplace is really going into the Medicare marketplaces, where there is a little more skin in the game, as we would say, to the client, where they're paying a little of the actual deductibles and out-of-pocket costs. And that's where this marketplace is going, because the government is getting involved, and when the government gets involved, it gets into the point where they think if people have a little more skin in the game, they won't run to the doctors and use Medicare as much, and it'll save on that. So a lot of these plans are going to these other lettered plans, and I told you earlier you can pick which one if you already know where you're going. But let's say you did a quote for F, and now you want to compare it to probably the next most popular plan, which is G, and look at the premiums change. In this zip code, Transamerica still is the lowest one, but United Healthcare gets knocked off, and Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company comes in next. Now, I don't have the household discount on there, so I'm going to go back and apply discounts, and all of a sudden, Transamerica Premier still stays in there, but neck and neck is Omaha Insurance Company. So you can see how these things change on that. And I guarantee if you're working in different zip codes, you're going to get a different carrier taking the lead spot. If you're in different states, it could be a Mutual of Omaha, a United of Omaha, or it could be a Gerber that takes the place, or a Medico, or one of these other carriers that might pop up, might come into place. One of the reasons, just so that you guys know, you don't see United Healthcare on there, simply put, is in this area. They don't offer a Plan G. So you won't find their rate on here because they don't offer a Plan G. Another one I'd like to show you is these are getting more popular too and can get premiums really low. It's an F plan. It's called a high deductible F plan. If you hit that, you're going to find if there is a carrier there, and United American does. Look at what the premium is for a high deductible F plan in this zip code of 97201, which is the Portland area, a $30 monthly premium for a high deductible F. Another way to get a low premium on there if that's what you're trying to do. So as you can see, it's a pretty easy software to work with and easy to navigate, easy to go back and forth, get different rates. It's simple. Last part of this quoting software that I want to share with you is simply if you want to print the quote, there's an icon over on the left-hand side that says print. If you want to make a PDF on it, put it on your desktop and then email it to somebody, you want to send that quote to them, you can go right here and do that too. So it gives you the power to be able to send out quotes or show quotes, and a lot of people are using this with the e-apps nowadays and using this program and showing the quotes and then being able to send this quote and showing them, putting in the zip code, doing the application. You as the agent already know who's going to, because you put in the zip code. You know who's going to be the low one out there. It makes it real easy tool to show them which one they should go with, and then you can do the e-process. Now, I want to plant one thought in your head is, if you're now thinking about what I'm thinking about and where the marketplace is going, is you can do e-apps and you can market in multiple states, multiple counties, multiple zip codes, and stay at home and do these sales by doing a join me, showing them this program, and then going and flipping over to an e-app. It's a great way to get additional sales. And as we all have heard that has been in this marketplace for any amount of time, we've got 10,000 seniors turning 65 every day. There's no easier way to build a book of business than getting involved with Medicare supplements. This tool is very easy to use. I showed you how to get on it through our website. Now, one caveat on this deal is, to be able to get on there is you have to be contracted with us with at least one of our carriers for Medicare supplements. Otherwise, this program will not be turned on for you. So what we want is you to work with us with Medicare supplement carriers. You only have to pick one of the carriers and work with us with one of the carriers, and that this access will be open to you so you can use. It's a great tool for you to be able to reach out to a lot of different people and sell a lot of Medicare supplements. So now what I'm going to do is, that is the program. I'm going to open up the phones to see if anyone has any questions. Again, I can't tell you how easy this is, and I can't unmute your phone if you didn't put the PIN number. Right now I'm starting to open it, and so far I'm hitting 100% on opening this for everybody. Hang on one, I've got quite a few to open here. Well, there's one I can't open. I'm almost there. All right, so I've got most of you. I'm going to continue to open more. Again, this is David Wayne.
Can you show us the compare quotes tool? Can we do an F and a G side by side on the compare quotes? Up there and above export.
Let me do that. I'm still unmuting some, but yes. Okay, it looks like there's a couple I haven't been able to, but the question was, can I do the compare quotes on that? And
it's above export, over on the left-hand side.
So they just changed this program, and what they used to have is a little boxes here where you clicked to pick the ones you wanted to compare, but there it is right there. So let's see how we do this. There we go. Pick Transamerica, and let's go United Healthcare. Okay?
And then can you also go over to a Plan G and add those to the quotes, to that compare screen?
I don't think you can go over to Plan G, but first and foremost, here's the comparison of those two plans, and you can see United Healthcare there and Transamerica. I will go back and see if that's possible. Go back here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree, too. I just don't know if the plan will let me do that. Let's just go see. That would be awesome if you can do that. Okay, we're going to do Transamerica, and, well, United Healthcare isn't in there, but I'll put another one in there, Omaha, and let's just see if that does it.
Yeah, because I see them all over there. Plan G, Plan F. Perfect.
Yep. There they are. So that's
awesome.
pretty slick.
Thank you.
You know what? Thank you for asking the question because I didn't even know. I knew on the old program. See, they changed this program. It was a little easier on that navigation, but as you can see, that wasn't too difficult because I just learned how to do it in front of you guys. So, and look at that. You got Plan G's and you got Plan F's there, and the premiums there. And hopefully, I do not see. So you might want to. Before you go to that compare, if you want to see them in annual premiums, click it to the annual layout before you go to that. So let's just try that while we've got you there. Go to the expanded deal, click that annual, and then get quote. Hopefully it will do it for me. Yep, it went back to monthly. I'm going to go one more time and try that again. Back. I have annual. I have annuals there. I'm wondering if I had to start this thing because I see over here that it's all in monthly. But, I mean, you know, we can always figure out the annuals. I'll play with that, and I encourage all of you guys to do that. And as you can see where they're all listed over here, you can hit the X's and drop them off if you'd like to. So pretty slick little program. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, Dave, I do. This is Sandy in Everett.
Hey, Sandy.
Do we have the 2016 rates yet for people? I mean, for United Healthcare and Transamerica, because this is all this year's rates, which are going to go away in October for next year.
Sandy, it's a
Not
great
in
question.
October.
Yeah, it's a great question, and to answer that question is every carrier has different times of years that they do their rate increases and they make changes. And so the answer to your question is no, we don't have any changes. Some do it at the beginning of the year, some do it at the end of the year, and you know, as soon as they're announced, this program automatically gets downloaded with the new rates once they're released. So you will never be behind it. And you've got some coming up towards the end of the year, absolutely. Transamerica is one of them that I know does theirs towards the end of the year, and I know others do theirs towards the front, so you just have to stay on this, and this will keep you updated.
Okay.
And the companies, if you're contracted with them, will automatically be sending you notification that the rates are, if they're moving, if they're changing, and that type of thing. But I do know that there are changes. And when we talk about this is, again, this is another great question. Sometimes when we expect rate increases, we actually see rate decreases. And what I'm going to tell you is I know carriers are talking about lowering their rates in Plan G to get it more competitive. They may raise their Plan F rates, but they may lower their Plan Gs to get more competitive there. So keep that in mind. When those movements happen, you may see a decrease in rates on a different plan like a Plan G. So, and I'm telling you, we are selling a lot of Plan Gs now because the difference between F and G, that premium is such a big difference that it easily covers that 147. Yeah, it more than covers that 147 deductible. So, any other questions?
Dave, this is Dennis in Boise. I'm new to this.
Okay, Dennis. And then I heard someone else, so hang in there. I'll get your question.
Okay. So please bear with me. This policy fee, $25, is that a one-time payment, or is that annual?
It is a one-time payment. It's a policy fee to get started, Dennis.
Got it. Okay.
So, and not all carriers have them, but some carriers have what an association like the AARP. You got to join AARP to have the AARP through United Healthcare. So it may not have a policy fee, but there's an association fee. So keep that in mind. Excuse me?
Plus their premium is higher with AARP.
Well, depending, in some areas, AARP wins the market. So just it all depends on that. Remember, you guys are looking at it on an individual basis of where you work, but I've got people all over the country on this webinar, and AARP might be the winner in that state or in that zip code. So keep that in mind. You do have an association fee with some of these places. Those fraternals, some have some of those. Keep that in mind, okay? And I had someone, I think, in California that had a question.
Right, John Figlar in Sacramento. Can I select only companies that have an e-app?
That's a good question. You can narrow it down to certain companies, so you can do it that way with the carriers that we are doing it with. So you can actually pick the carriers you want to show. So the answer to that is yes. If you do it, there's not a button that says.
That's what I was looking for, a button.
Yeah. No. You actually have to pick those carriers and only show those carriers.
All right.
Okay.
Dave, again, Dennis, I'm sorry. Do you represent any Med Advantage plans?
We do only one, and that is the United Healthcare, because we carry their MedSup, so we only do that one. Med Advantage has not been a marketplace that we have ventured into. We generally say, we're MedSups, and although since we carry the contract, we got to certify with United Healthcare, we also carry their Med Advantage. So that is the only one that we do have access to.
All right.
And this program, Dennis, just so you know, and others that are listening out there, they also have a program for Med Advantage, but since we're not in it, we don't participate with that part of the comparison. This program is brought to us by CSG, and you guys can actually buy this yourself. It's pretty expensive, and it's an ongoing monthly charge. We're doing it by, get in contract with us, participating with us on a Medicare supplement contract. You get it for free.
Wow. That's great.
Okay.
Great program.
All right. Anyone else? Yes.
Yes. I have a question. What is the universe of companies included in this? Do you restrict it who you have contracts with?
Yes, we do. We've got about 9 contracts with different carriers. Some if you're in Washington, you'll see some carriers, and other ones you won't because they're not doing business there. Same thing with California. You'll see more pop up maybe in California because there's more carriers. But we are restricted to ours. We're not going to show you, put in there. And for a good example, down in California, the Blues do a buy-in rate at age 65. Generally are one of the lower ones. Anthem is what they call it down there. And we can't sell Anthem. Agents can. It's more of a direct program. So we're not putting Anthem on there to outprice all the other ones that we work with. Just know this, Anthem is not the most competitive down there. If you're selling anyone over 65, it's only at the age 65. So the answer to your question is it's just carriers that we do business. Now, keep in mind, again, I want to make sure that you're aware of this. You want everybody that's doing MedSup in that state. You can buy the program at CSG. You can call CSG, look them up on Google them at CSG Actuarial, see what the price is, and pay the monthly price. You can certainly get all the carriers if you'd like. To let you know one other thing, we also do that ourselves, so we stay competitive when we see who's that competitive carrier. So if you were to call in and ask us, we could actually find out, but we just don't have, we're not going to put it out for showing everybody every other carrier. So any other questions? As you can see, this is an easy program to work with, and if you have any questions, just give myself or Gene Newland, a lot of you work with Gene Newland in the MedSup area, at our office, and we'll get you quotes. And again, if you want to go back through this, we're going to have this on later today on our website. This is a recorded session. With that being said, have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Thanks.